Hey everyone, do you ever think about something you love and wish it had just that little extra thing to make it just a tiny bit better? For instance, I love the Nintendo Switch, but I would love it even more if it had functioning controllers. That'd be super cool. Anyways, a while back I made a video where I talked about small missed opportunities in Smash Ultimate that I think would make the game ever so slightly more interesting, while not drastically improving or changing it. Just small things that'd be neat and not much else. In that video I said this: I'm not planning on making a sequel to this, but if people like these enough, I might consider it. And people liked it more than I anticipated, so here I am, making more. If you didn't see that previous video, these ideas I'm gonna be talking about would just give the game a little more charm and maybe make you think, yeah, that would be kinda cool to see. Unlike my useless Smash Facts series where I have a huge growing backlog of stuff to talk about for future videos, I don't have many, so to say, missed ideas written down for this series. So a few of the missed opportunities I'll be talking about today came directly from you guys in the comments of the previous part. I'll be sure to show the comments of the ideas that didn't come from me, like the first one I'm gonna talk about. So let's just get into it. You know EarthBound and Mother 3, right? One is a cult classic RPG on the SNES, which sold terribly outside of Japan because Nintendo of America gave the game really crappy marketing. Literally. And the other, despite being one of the greatest games I've ever played, is perhaps the most famous non-localized game of all time. They're the games Ness and Lewkiss are from, respectively. But you probably already knew that. Well, in those games, whenever you land a critical hit, the message SMASH appears on screen, alongside an iconic sound effect. It would have been a really neat touch if this message and sound effect could show up when Ness and Lewkiss hit their forward smash. It wouldn't be anything too crazy considering it's already in the game. Whenever any character KOs the Starman Assist trophy, the game does just that. The smash message appears and you hear the sound effect. While this is super cool, I feel like this version is a bit too big and distracting to be applied to something like a more serious 1 vs 1 without items. So my idea was to give both Ness and Lewkiss a unique appearance for the sprite, loosely based on how the message looked in their respective games. I asked the artist to give the messages a modern update, and he made the colors based on that of the two's origin games, which I thought was a great detail. Since in their games this message only appears when you land a critical hit, which is of course pretty rare, I think it'd be fitting if in Smash, the message would only appear under certain circumstances, like hitting the sweet spot or only when it hits hard enough to generate the black lightning. Moving on, I know we all want something like a DLC pack for more costumes in the game, and don't get me wrong, I would really like that too. But something else I've had in mind since Smash Ultimate launched is a system where every character has an unlockable, rare golden altar or something. I don't really play shooter games, but I know that this is a popular thing in that genre. For example, in Team Fortress 2, I know that some weapons have an Australian variant, which are very rare drops from the game's player versus enemy mode. If you get them, you can use them online to flex that you have them. I think something like this could be super cool in Smash Ultimate. As for the means to unlock them, what I had in mind was getting a certain amount of wins as that character in quick play. Something super high like 300 wins. It should feel like a big achievement to get one of these alts after all. Or something else cause Nintendo Online sucks. And for how these alts could look, Peach actually already has a perfect example in her alt palette, being this cool golden one, which even is more reflective than her other alts. A rare alt like this for every character could look very nice, and to make them stand out even more, they could sparkle on the battle UI or on the actual model occasionally. And for characters that have an alternate form in their alts, like characters that can switch between male and female, they could just make a golden version for both forms, right? I don't really see why every character needs to have the exact same amount of alts. Although, that would mean Bowser Jr. would get 16 alts. And whatever, Little Mac had 16 alts in Smash 4, they can do it again. And it would honestly be pretty cool to see all of them in a golden clown card. And hey, even if they don't want to make a golden alt for every character, they could just use the ugly dark and light models from the World of Light or something. Speaking of alts, a really simple quick idea I wanted to share would have been a special alt for Pikachu, where he would wear his detective hat to be Detective Pikachu. And what would make it special is if he had English voice lines while wearing it. You know, because of the Detective Pikachu game, where he speaks English.
Well, I'll see you around. Me and my breadcrumbs have got somewhere to be.
And the Detective Pikachu movie, where he speaks English. You could just say generic fighting lines and grunts when he attacks and gets hit and such, and some quick witty dialogue in a few places. Here's a quick little example demo of what that might sound like. Not voiced by me, because I'm not a voice actor.
Alright, let's get to work. Whoa! Yeah! Yeah! Hup! Hup! Yeah! Yeah! Eat this! Try and catch me. Whoa! This'll hurt. Ouch! Hup! This'll hurt. This'll hurt. Huh. Let's get him, kid. Ugh, I'm tired. Ah! Good one. Sorry! Sorry about that. Let's never do that again. Now, where's my coffee?
Pretty funny if you ask me. Now in those clips, Pikachu wasn't wearing the detective hat, and that's because, well, obviously it isn't in the game. If it was, I wouldn't be talking about it here. Now let's scooch over to what was probably the most submitted idea last time I did this. Death animations. First of all, I totally agree that Pac-Man's classic death sound effect is way more iconic than Mega Man's, and yet Mega Man gets the special death animation and sound in Smash. I think it would have been perfect for Pac-Man's sound effect to play whenever he loses his stock, like this. I mean, I don't even have to show it in the original Pac-Man for you to know what I'm talking about. It's that iconic. And similarly, Sonic losing his rings when he gets hit in the Sonic the Hedgehog games is also super iconic, and yet it's not in Smash. I think it would have been amazing if when Sonic gets KO'd via a blast zone, rings would shoot out from the blast, and then disappear shortly after. They could also make it happen when Sonic gets hit by a strong enough attack, similar to the Ness and Lewkiss Smash text box thing from earlier, which would make a little more sense since in the Sonic games, rings only pop out of you when you get hit, not when you die via a bottomless pit or something. Huh, wasn't it me? Talking as if they'll ever do anything interesting with Sonic and Smash. How foolish of me. That'll never happen. Next, I want to focus a little bit on a few ideas relating to Steve, because around the time he was announced, I thought of a lot of cool ideas they could do for him, and most of them didn't make it in the game. Which of course means I can talk about them here. First of all, Minecraft has status effects, such as slow falling, which makes you fall slowly, fire resistance, which gives you fire resistance, and so forth. Whenever you're affected by any status effect in Minecraft, your character gets these swirly things flying out of you, whether it's a positive or negative effect. My idea was that Steve could get these swirlies in Smash whenever he has a status on him. For example, normally if you get hit by the Yuri Kosukata assist trophy, or Joker's Iha, which do poison damage over time, instead of the usual black smoke effect, you could get the dark green swirlies from the poison effect from Minecraft. If he wears the bunny hood, he could have the light blue swirlies like the potion of swiftness, and that's not even covering the amount of effects spirits can give you. A spirit that makes you stronger could give you red swirlies, a spirit that makes you take less damage from fire-based attacks could give you the orange swirlies, and so on. Here are some other cool visual ideas for Steve. Whenever he dies, probably only in 1 vs 1s, it'd be funny if a small "Steve died from" text box appeared at the bottom of the screen, just like in Minecraft. For example, if he were to get star KO'd, it could say "Steve fell from a high place," or if he drowns on a stage with water, it could simply say "Steve drowned." What'd make this even cooler though, is that if you're using a name tag in Smash, the death message could instead use your name tag instead of your character name, since it works like that in Minecraft too. There are a lot of different death messages in Minecraft, so they really wouldn't have to limit themselves to just using those. They could just make their own specific to Smash Bros mechanics, like Steve was meteor smashed, Steve got slept on, or Steve got unlucky. It's actually really funny thinking of funny Smash themed death messages, so write some of your best ideas down in the comments, I'd love to see them. Anyways, when Steve dies in stamina mode, he actually falls on the ground like in Minecraft. I thought it'd be cool if he actually dropped the tools and materials he had obtained that stock when he does. Like if you created a certain level of tools, you'd see those on the ground when you die. I can see why they wouldn't do that though. You don't lose everything in Smash when you lose a stock, and it might make people think you could pick them up and use them if you're also playing as Steve. I just thought it'd be a funny idea to mention, and it could totally work if it was your last stock. If this was implemented, however, I think it'd be adorable if the zombie alt also drops some rotten flesh, and the enderman alt also dropped an ender pearl. Man, this has been a pretty death-heavy video so far. Let's move on to something a bit more lighthearted. For the final Steve idea, you know how some stages replaces his dirt blocks with something else? I mentioned it a while back on this channel. 6 stages turn the dirt into wool, 6 into sand, and 1 into ice. Yeah, Cloud Seal of Aurus was added since that video, and that stage also changes the dirt into wool. I still think this is a really cool detail, but it's a shame that out of the currently 113 stages in the game, only about 11.5% have this fun detail. So I was thinking of ways to expand on this idea, and outside of simply making more stages turn his dirt into sand, wool, or ice, the best way that came to mind was to give some of the already existing blocks special appearances on certain stages. In case you're unfamiliar with Minecraft, there are currently 8 different types of wooden planks in the game. Aside from oak planks, which are the ones used in Smash, there are also spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak, crimson, and warped planks, which all come from different types of tree logs. For instance, the Jungle Japes stage could have jungle planks, and Norfair could have crimson planks. Extra fitting considering in Minecraft, crimson and warped planks are immune to burning away due to fire. And it doesn't end there. You can also dye wool blocks in Minecraft. So why not have the 6 stages where the dirt is replaced by wool have colored wool blocks themed to the stage, instead of them all being standard white. If I could choose, I'd give Super Happy Tree light blue wool and Yoshi's Story lime wool to match the cardboard floor. Skyworld and Cloud Sea of Aurus can keep the white wool since they're heavily based on clouds. Magicant obviously pink wool, and Living Room can have orange wool to fit the floor and a little bit of the carpet. And hey, speaking of block variants, sand also comes in different colors, although it only has one alternate version, that being red sand, found in the Badlands biome. Of the 6 stages that make Steve's dirt sand instead, I think Mushroom Kingdom, Mushroomy Kingdom, and Arena Ferox could have red sand instead. Well, there you have it. A lot of Steve related ideas because I really like Minecraft. I promise you that's all of them. Now let's instead move on to another DLC character, which I almost forgot was in the game, Min Min. In ARMS, you can dodge into any direction, but Min Min has the unique ability to kick while dodging backwards, which doesn't actually hurt others, but it kicks away incoming punches. I think this is what they based her up smash on, since she can reflect projectiles with it and it's a big backwards kick, which is cool and all, but I think it's a huge missed opportunity that she doesn't also kick while dodging. In ARMS, she only kicks while dodging backwards on the ground and in any direction in the air. I think in Smash this would have also worked perfectly the same way. She could air dodge in any direction and do a reflecting kick, and only while rolling backwards on the ground. If it worked like that, then the only way to do it quickly back to back would be to do this, which wouldn't be very smart anyway since it makes your dodges laggier. I was honestly surprised they didn't do this in Smash, considering it was a completely unique ability of hers in ARMS, and they chose specifically her from the game to join Smash. But I guess they more so picked her because of her Dragon Arm mechanic, which I totally understand. It would also make her have a unique dodge in Smash, which the game could really use in my opinion. The only character that currently has a unique dodge would be Terry, since he can cancel his spot dodge quicker than all other characters with a unique spot dodge attack. And besides that, I guess Falco also has a special role, maybe? He will always do a small hop backwards after a back roll, which just means that he has a really fast and far roll, but the second half isn't invincible. And now for today's final missed idea that would have barely improved Smash but would still have been neat to see. You, too, the latest DLC character. In Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the game Pyra and Mythra are from, it's a whole plot point that Rex gets stabbed and dies in the beginning of the game, and Pyra revives Rex by giving him part of her core crystal, aka her motherboard. Because of this, Rex and Pyra/Mythra share senses, which is weird for a lot of reasons. But anyways, if Pyra or Mythra gets hurt during battle or whatever, Rex also gets hurt, and vice versa. Now back to Smash Bros. Pyra and Mythra have a taunt where Rex briefly shows up in the background to cheer them on in battle, and then he disappears into thin air. I think it would have been super funny if when you hit Pyra or Mythra during this taunt, Rex can be seen in the background, flinching in pain right before he disappears. Not only would it be a very cool reference to their home game, but I personally would find it pretty hysterical, and I would always make an effort to try and get hit during this taunt. It also would have given more weight to the idea that Pyra and Mythra are Rex's blades, and all that lore stuff. And that's all of them, for now. I'm really glad you all enjoyed the first part enough for me to want to make more. Huge thanks again to the artists in this video that made all those amazing drawings you saw visualizing some of the ideas I talked about today. Jansu for the golden coupoling alts, Weech for Detective Pikachu, Foresight for Ness and Lucas's smash messages, Day of Pi from Min Min kicking while dodging, Ninehammer for Steve being knocked out on the floor with his items dropped, Joxin for Pyra and Rex sharing pain, and last but not least, Lewkiss for Sonic dropping his rings when getting hit, who is actually also this channel's thumbnail artist. I just thought it'd be fun to get him to also draw one of the idea art pieces for this video. And someone who did something completely different than everyone else I just mentioned, Classy Jevelin for voicing Detective Pikachu in that little voiced Pikachu demo reel. I truly wouldn't have been able to make this video what it was without you all. All of their social media pages will be down in the description. And last time I did this, I did thank all the artists involved, but I didn't thank them all verbally like I did this time, which I intend to do going forward. So just to make it all even, big thanks again to Awesome Sauce, Dooms, Noso, NenIDC, Pinky Bowtie, Creamy K, and Chibins. Though if you want to see their art, you're gonna have to go watch that video. I promise you all that art is also great stuff. And finally, thanks to the 5 people who submitted missed ideas in the last part that I used in this one. Dr. MDC, Hans Heischer, K, Rary Elder God Nerd, and Joseph H. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't have a huge backlog of missed ideas saved on my computer, so make sure to share some of your best ideas in the comments to this video, and I might use them in part 3. I hope to see you guys soon again, and if you like this video, be sure to let me know like this, or this, or this, or this, or even this. Whatever you do, I appreciate you watching today, and I hope the rest of your day is stellar. Goodbye.